Hey, Bobby Manning here from Miami, outside FTX Arena where the Celtics and Heat are going to play tonight. Celtics will hit the road after the game though and go up to Orlando to face the Magic. I'm excited about that game. We talked about tonight's game in our other video. Go check that out on Celtics All Access. But you got Paolo Banchero, you got Jalen Suggs, you got all these great young players, Cole Anthony on that Orlando squad. That's going to be an underrated fun game as well. Even if it's not as challenging or imposing as an Eastern Conference contender in Miami, it is a back-to-back. It is a game against a Magic team that I thought played great against the Pistons, came back and tried to push for the win. Pistons ultimately took it. But how is Al Horford going to fare, going from Friday night's game to Saturday night's game? Not too far travel-wise, only an hour flight if they are going to hop on a plane for that. And he had some thoughts about the perception that he's going to have to rest, manage, and possibly sit out back-to-backs this year. Here's what he had to say at shoot-around.
Like, oh, Al needs his rest. Can't play Al back-to-backs. But you never, are the one saying it.
Yeah, you've never heard me say it,
That's what I'm saying. There's assumptions about how you feel. Yeah. So, does that bother you? And, do you feel hey, there's no reason I can't be playing just as much as I did last year, having just as much of a role as last year, playing back-to-backs and things like that.
To be completely honest with you, Adam, I'm not really paying attention to that. I mean, I know obviously it's you guys' job. You guys keep bringing it up, but for me, I said it in the preseason. I kind of prepared myself to be in these positions, and I'll just take it as it goes. The good thing about our group is that we do have depth, and we have a good group, and I'm not saying I'm completely opposed to sitting out and stuff like that, but I feel fine, and I'll be good to go.
How do you feel just in general, at this stage in your career? Is it just are the things you do training-wise that you're altering at all?
Just consistency, man. I'm being consistent. I'm staying after it. I feel good. I feel good. I'm being able to get out there and play and do the things that I need to do. It's all about preparation. It's a mindset, and I feel fine. And our medical staff's done a great job with me. Managing and feeling things out, and if we feel at any point that we need to reevaluate some things, we do. But honestly, they kept me running all of last year, and this year I don't expect it to be any different.
Do you plan on playing in both games of this back-to-back?
One game at a time, but yes. My focus is on Miami tonight. It's a big game for us, so just focus on this one.
So that had been a sentiment that Al had shown in camp. He didn't feel or see the need to rest these games. In fact, he loaded up over the offseason, ready to play extra minutes, and that's a good thing to hear due to Robert Williams' absence and some of the uncertainty behind him. He said he does appreciate that depth, and he's not completely ruling out sitting out back-to-backs. But it looks like in this one, even though he didn't absolutely commit to it, he might play both of these games since it's only the second and third game of the season. Joe Mazzulla had a lean for extra minutes from Horford, even through foul trouble, and especially Brown and Tatum to win that Philadelphia game, which was good. That's a key win. I think he did the right thing that night. But there is an element of management to the season, particularly for a 36-year-old like Horford, that they're going to have to strike between each other. And I actually talked to Joe Mazzulla at practice last week about that and wondered how they're going to go about managing that. And he basically put it on Horford's plate. They trust him. He has that dynamic with the medical staff that, as he mentioned in his quote there, works well. So Mazzulla is not going to, I think, step in and mandate any nights off for Horford. I actually saw them going back and forth between each other during that Raptors game up in Montreal, talking about when to sub out, how Horford's feeling. Eventually he did give the thumbs up to bring in Sam Hauser for him in that game. And it's going to be on Horford. He's going to have to not only trust his body and how he feels, but also have some foresight in some of these moments to say, all right, we could steal this game here. I could go a little bit longer to try to get this one, but we don't have it tonight. I don't have it tonight. Let's just ease off some of these minutes here and look at the bigger picture, because they're definitely going to need him in April, May, June especially. And he ended up playing well over 2,000 minutes last year between the regular season and the playoffs. So he might feel good now on day one, and I think it's fair to play him in both of these games, but ultimately you're going to need Al Horford at his best come postseason time, and I think that is the reason that you had reports saying that there was going to be some level of load management for him this year. So we'll keep an eye on that. Celtics play the Heat tonight. Magic tomorrow night in Orlando. We'll have coverage of both. Celtics All Access CLNS Media on YouTube. We're brought to you by Com. Com.com/Garden gets you 40% off a premium subscription of sleep sounds, meditation, yoga, and more. And Athletic Greens, athleticgreens.com/Garden gets you 5 free travel packs of their great powder, a year's supply of vitamin D, and more. Great things over there. Go check that out, athleticgreens.com/Garden. Bobby Manning down here in Miami.
Dance like there's no tomorrow.